Does removing wallpaper off your room scare you? Now I want you to understand that you can do this. Remove the wallpaper like you're spreading butter on bread. It's just that simple. Anyone can do it if I can do it. Check it out. Hi there, this is Lawman DIY. If you're thinking of renovating your room or putting a new wallpaper or removing wallpaper in order to redecorate your room, well, I've got something for you. There are so many things out there, there's so many videos out there showing the various skills, but I think we can simplify these very easily. So I'm going to give you my version of how I strip this wallpaper from the wall. Yes, I'm stripping the wallpaper from the wall. Let me show you quickly what I've done previously. So this is what I've done previously prior to this video. And I'm going to show you. It's just simple. You don't need a lot of tools, a lot of product, the wallpaper stripper and all that. Having said that, there might be some wallpapers that are got stronger adhesive, which means you might use different various methods. But I'll explain this later on this side of the wall, because this is how it was looking like before, but this is where we are at the moment. And I want you to see how the paper comes off. And I will explain it. If you keep watching, I will explain it in this video here so that you see how it's done. So this might be a little bit longer, but is needed in order to explain the procedure. So first of all, wallpaper, much as your visual illusion will tell you it's all one wallpaper going around. No, it's in strips, and mostly it goes like that. And if the person who will work is very good, you will not even see any sign unless literally you feel it. But talk about feel. You can feel the edge of each strip by just running your hand over, and you can literally feel the lip. I can feel a lip here, and then you see where it overlaps, and you find the perfect scraper to go underneath the lip and able to lift the lip. And this is how I go about it. You can start from anywhere, from the bottom, the top, from the middle, wherever. Let's start from the middle this time. So what you do is to find out what direction this lip is going. And this is what real world scenario I'm giving you here. It's not a good lip, this one. The paper is very thin, so I've not got the right lip. So okay, I'll start from the top because it's a bigger lip at the top there. So what I do is I just line up the scraper, sort of try to catch. If you have a slimmer scraper, it helps more. So I'll come down again and sort of dig in a little bit. Try not to dig too much, because if you dig too much, you hit what you don't want to hit. You don't want to take off the original paint from there. So this is the lip I'm talking about. So what you do is to try to scrape or take off all the shiny paper, all the decorative paper, leaving you with a backing paper like so. So once you get lip, you pull and you try to angle it. It works better when you angle it. You might not get all of it at a go, but so long as you're getting it, angle it, you are sort of getting somewhere. So get a lip, pull, and try to get the lips. And this is not very difficult at all. Anyone can do it. So what I was trying to explain is, sorry they're echoing because I wasn't using the mic. Depending on the paper quality, you might be able to pull a whole big lump out. If you're able to pull a lot without it breaking, that's the best way. So you can use it to line the floor so that when we get on the next stage to the next stage, it will be much easier. But this paper, I will have to admit, is not that quality. So it keep breaking, which made it a bit more difficult for me. And as you can see, we got some rips in between the paper, which is the reason why we are pulling this. Personally, whilst wallpaper is beautiful because you can have various design, different kind of designs, which you can use to decorate, it is one of the sources of introducing mold and sort of a little bit of moldy smell into a room, because the paper absorbs moisture, and during the winter, even when you're using heat regularly, the paper absorb more moisture, which begins to, even if you don't see the mold, it begins to get that kind of moldy smell. So I'm not a big fan of it, but if you are, then it's better you use a quality, much quality wallpaper. And that means a little bit more expensive. But this paper was very brittle, so it was just breaking as I catch it. But it's the same procedure. Try to get a lip. Once you've got a lip, pull it as best you can, and just try to keep it going by pulling it towards you and lifting it at the same time. It works better when you're doing it by angle. On this occasion, it was a bit difficult because the paper wasn't quality, so it kept breaking. It was very fragile, so it kept breaking. So this is what I was trying to explain right there, with the echoing. So just watch and continue to see how I went about it. So I just want to mention as well that the age of the wallpaper on the wall would also determine how fragile and how brittle they are, and therefore they all play a part. And also, it's just usage really. If you keep making holes in the wallpaper, it's going to become very, very fragile in terms of you're going to have more holes in it. But on this particular occasion is between the wallpaper being old and the wallpaper not being quality. So there you go. As they say, quality, you know, when you buy quality, it's more durable and it lasts longer. So yeah, gradually, it wasn't the most drastic, like it's not the worst really. It was coming off, but with persuasion. So if you lack patience, then I'm afraid this is not something for you. You got to be patient. And for me, I find it therapeutic to, you know, doing this. And I try to um, achieve the level of trying to take off the top layer of the paper, leaving the backing paper on, because you will see in a minute why it's important. If you can get all the top bit, it is very important to do that before we go to the next stage. And this is very, very beautiful when I can get a big strip like that. And trying to get as big strip as possible. And you can use any stripper or a sharp edge, but I would not use anything sharp like a blade or something, because that might, mark the wall, and that will create some difficulties for you when you get to the next stage, or when you get to the painting stage. So it's patience, really. It's really patience. And if you do not have the patience, just don't bother with it. But you can still do it, but it means you have to come back several times with the next step. Let's watch the next step. So the next stage is to get some hot water. Let's get some water from here. Hot water, foam. I've boiled the water. Oh gosh, going the wrong direction. Let's put this. So hot water. I like it to be nice and hot. Of course, I'm gonna put my hand in there, so also have to be cautious not to make it too hot. Okay, I think it's good to go. Hot water, foam, just hot water. I know you can put, if you want, you can put liquid soap, or if you want to use one of these, but I don't think it's necessary. We'll see. So I'm going to take this strip, use the foam to go over, and as you can hear, the water is dropping on the paper, so that way you got something taking care of the water there. But I just want to show you how it goes. All right, you go over it. I'll go over the whole wall and then come and go over it again. Now I want to show you, when you come to the plug socket, just do the bottom and do the sides like this. And before you do the top, just make sure there is not a lot of water in the towel, and just brush through it like this. It will be advisable to probably tape this inlet, but if you're careful, you don't really need to do the taping. But then at the top, you can go over it. And I want you to see how I'm holding it. The water is dripping when I press a little bit. But once it's on the wall, just go quick like this. Just keep moving your hand. And yes, you're gonna have a drip. Definitely gonna have a drip. So just like that, go over it with a foam. Now you can also go over it with a brush, bristle brush, painting brush, and you will get similar results. But I think the foam can hold more water, and it can make you go faster than the brush. You can also use a roller, but also that might flick a lot of water and you make more mess. Either way, you're gonna make some mess. Um, but I find the foam to be the best way of doing this. A little bit that are not soaked properly, so they will not come off easily. But for the most part, look at that. And you don't have to scrape all the way. Scrape whatever the top, grab a corner, and if you go by angle, you're able to pull the wallpaper down. It's so therapeutic if you take your time to do it. If you have so many rooms to do, you don't have to do all of it at one go. Stay with us because we're going to treat these mold patches as well. stay with me. As you can see, just remove all the dead part. I didn't hit this side with water, but I'll come back to it. But just showing you how it's easy to remove it after going through the first stage that I showed you. And you know, all you need is a lip and the whole thing just rolls off just like that. It comes off very easily. Bear in mind that we have glue behind this, but I can tell you most of the glue is also coming off. So before painting, you can either apply a primer or sand the surface a little bit with maybe 320 grits, just to roughen it for good adhesion. You can also go ahead and wipe the surface again, just sort of dry wash it a little bit in order for you to get as much glue of the glue as possible. Of course, you do it with warm water. See that top there? It needs a little bit more of the water stuff to go underneath, and so does this part. So it's fine. Don't force it at this stage. If it's not coming, it means it's not ready to come, and therefore you have to heat it with the hot water again, just to make sure that you've got as much as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and do the whole of it, and don't want to keep this video too long. It's already long. If you've been around for the whole duration, thanks for watching. Subscribe for more tips on DIY stuff, from building things with palette to painting, to some tips about painting and doing other stuff. Sometimes we come with mechanical stuff as well. So here's the results. A lot of mess on the floor, but the paper is important for you to leave the paper on the floor to absorb whatever water is left. As you can see, I've tried to use different methods, and I was trying to film it, but it wasn't necessary for you to see it, because honestly, this method I've just showed you is the best method for using it. It's time saving in the long run. I had the original wallpaper stripper, vapor producing kind of equipment, but honestly, you didn't need to see it because it's not as fast as using the manual method I showed you. If you loved the video, please subscribe and help us grow. It's actually free. I just discovered it's free to subscribe, so please subscribe and help us grow, because all I want to do is to bring you more videos of this sort. Help somebody out, somebody who is doing a renovation, a room or a whole house renovation. This will save you money. You can finish this before calling your decorator, and that would definitely cut your costs of decoration. And I'm going to go around and deal with all of it. We're going to have a video on the painting for sure. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.